Island rule.
Let me say that on Juneteenth Day, I spoke a couple of days ago with Spike Lee, and he said, you know what, we should kick off Juneteenth Day having breakfast together in Brooklyn at
Junior's.
When we was
Corner, Flatbush, and Decal.
We used to hang out. And I said, yeah, that's a good way to start the day. Let's remember that Juneteenth started because Texas had never informed those that were enslaved that they were free. Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation that went into effect January 1st, 1863. But it wasn't until the 13th Amendment that blacks in even the northern states were free. Texas still didn't know it until the General Granger came down and freed the slaves. So you can be free and not know it. And that's what Juneteenth means. You can walk off the plantation now and not know it. So that's why it is important that people register and vote in the mayor's election, whoever you vote for. Vote in every election, because they're trying to erase black history. In some states, they're literally banning
history too.
And history too, that's right. History and history.
I don't want to get you better get in trouble. Go home tonight with saying let's get that out.
So that's why right here in Brooklyn we produced an Oscar-winning director
in the fort,
and coming back to the fort to have breakfast, remind people we're emancipated. We don't care who the president is. We're not going back on the plantation. Spike.
Well, I'm just glad to be here with my brother right here. I grew up in Fort Greene, institutionally in Junior's. Check out the cheesecake and get that in. But we live in a very serious time in the world, not just the United States of America. So this is no joke. You know, this is serious business. So be safe, be smart, and let's move forward. Onward and upward. Let's move forward.
Glad to see our DA here, Gonzalez. Any questions?
I joined a little bit late. Can you just talk a little bit more? I understand you're urging people to get out and vote in the primary, and also separately talk about the travel ban, I think specifically Haiti.
I think the travel ban, the fact that Haiti and several other countries, all black and brown countries, is on the travel ban, shows outright bigotry. There's a rally tonight I'm speaking at the Christian Cultural Center on Juneteenth Day, that people from Haiti, they clearly are in danger. It's run by the gang. Donald Trump, just about 3 weeks ago, brought in 59 white Africans from South Africa, saying they were suffering from genocide against whites, which did not exist. Even Fox News can't come up with footage of that. So how do you let 59 white Afrikaners come in, but you ban people from Haiti and ban people from parts of Africa? So that's why on Juneteenth Day we're saying we're not slaves no more. We're going to stand up and fight that. If Juneteenth means anything, it's to say we're not slaves anymore. And that's why to have somebody as iconic as Spike stand up and say, let's do something about it, let's talk about it. Because people will act like this is just a day to drink Kool-Aid and kick back. It's a day to re-energize yourself and to refocus on what we got to do.
And also, how many of our Haitian brothers and sisters here in Brooklyn, too?
Right, Brooklyn
come on.
Probably has the biggest concentration, and that's why we have to stand up for them today on Juneteenth.
Choose to live mature.
That's right.
Choose on.
Liberate Haiti.
And you want to encourage people to get out and vote?
We definitely, go ahead.
You got to vote. I mean, this is no joke, and people that were in prison, people have died for us to have the chance to vote. This is part of the democracy, and we can't take that for granted.
And everybody's talking about whose side are you on, is who's on our side. At this time,
and repeat that.
It's who's on our side, not whose side are we on. In this age of Trump, we need people that'll stand up and fight back, whoever you vote for.
We've seen the president's, actions against DEI, and we've seen also some Juneteenth celebrations end up having to scale back because they've lost whatever funding, whatever sponsors they had.
How did we get those celebrations in the first place? Because we stood up and fought. Remember, DEI started during the George Floyd fight.
I think it's DIE.
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 That's a DIE.
Yeah, it's
DIE.
is die.
That's the purpose.
Yeah. I think when we were doing the marches around George Floyd, I did all the George Floyd's funerals. They started saying, we're going to do more for the black community, the corporate world, DEI. They threw it at us. We didn't come up with DEI. They did. Now they're backing up on that for Juneteenth, on Black History Month, on the LGBTQ. They won't do gay pride stuff. How did we get in the first place? Is that we fought and stood up, and we're going to fight and stand up to those corporations. So you telling me you really weren't serious when you started this 5 years ago, so that we're serious about not being with you?
What about the people, I mean, we've been speaking to people out there, seem to be turned off by politics these days, even with everything that's going on right now. What is your message for them at home?
The message is that with everything that's going on right now is because enough of us are not involved in politics. The politics is determined by voters. Kamala Harris only lost by 1.5%. If more people that were apathetic or giving up, they had voted, she would have been president. The fact Trump is in is why we're looking at travel bans to Haiti. The fact he's in is why they're talking about DEI has turned into DIE, as Spike said. So your vote matters. And they don't care that you get disgusted. They like that because they're going to bring their vote out.
You speak a little loudly, please.
Yes, Raleigh from NBC. Good morning, spoke to you. Knowing that right after Juneteenth, when reconstruction happened, 22 black people were elected into office, do you see a positive legacy of reminding people that with change, like Juneteenth, comes positive things like more black people being elected into office and the form of need to pay?
I think that if we learn from our history personally, there's been so many things that have happened that gotten us to where we are. I mean, that's why I'm wearing this hat today. My ancestors were stolen from other Africans, brought here, worked from Kansas City in the morning, Kansas City at night, and built this country. Along with taking the land of the Native Americans. That's how the United States was built. So we got to learn from the past, what we did right, what we did wrong. Simple.
And I think that the fact that right after the Emancipation Proclamation went into Reconstruction, we put 22 people in Congress, which is why we're saying today we have no excuse but to fight to continue to vote, because if they could vote in 22 members of Congress black in the middle of the 1800s, we have no excuse here in New York not to be voting for those that stand up for what is right, because it was not long after that. And Reconstruction fed into the era of Jim Crow, where we lost the right to vote. So anytime you gain something and relax, you lose it. That's why we're saying you can't relax, because they're trying to take everything back from us. All right. Thank you all.
All right, we're going to eat breakfast.
What's that, man? Spike.